Hi! If you're learning to play an instrument, you probably spend some of your time playing scales. And I can hear some people groaning already because scales are not entirely popular with everybody. There's a very good reason to practice scales actually. But the scales you've been playing are probably major scales and minor scales. If you're working at a higher level, you may have just come across something called a whole tone scale. But most people are working on these major and minor scales. But here's a scale I want to introduce you to because actually you can have a lot more fun with this scale. And this is the pentatonic scale. Now it's a pentatonic scale because it's only got 5 notes on it. And if you are a keyboard player, actually the quickest way to get into the pentatonic scale is just to use the black notes. Don't worry about the white notes at all. So if we take these 5 black notes, we have got a pentatonic scale. Now, great idea for a bit of improvisation. Can you make up a melody just using the black notes? So you're making up a melody that's just using the pentatonic scale. And you can spend hours doing that. The great thing about the pentatonic scale is it doesn't really matter where you go. Actually, you can move from any note to any other note and it sounds pretty good. I suppose you could get a bit carried away and have lots of big jumps. And it might sound a little bit more disjointed if you do that, but actually it still could be an improvised piece with a lot of character in it. Now, if you get confident about doing that, you could even put the odd chord under it as long as you stick to the black notes. So you could have, for example, a chord that went like this. And then put the same chord down again if you like. Getting quite a kind of evocative, dreamy piece out of this. Put another chord down. Put another chord down, as long as it's all black notes. And before you know it, you've really come up with a very nice improvisation or the basis of a piece if you're wanting to compose. Now, another thing you can do is you can get both of your hands on the move with 2 kind of melodic lines, if you like, and actually you can end up with a piece that's got a sort of Eastern flavour to it. So how about something like this? I'm just going to go in 2 parts. I'm going to do one thing in my left hand and something else in my right hand. And you could have endless hours of fun doing that. You could even combine that with a chord idea. And put the odd chord into the hands upstairs as well. You see how effective that is. Now, you don't just have to do this on the black keys. You can transpose that pentatonic scale. So if you don't want to use those black notes, you could bring all the notes down a semitone. So you end up now with 5 white notes. It's still a pentatonic scale, so you can learn to transpose that into white notes. Of course, you can transpose it again and end up with a sort of mixture of things, but it's so much easier just to do it on the black notes. So how about just letting your imagination fly and having a bit of a session improvising using the pentatonic scale, and I'm sure you're going to come up with some wonderful music. Enjoy!